whatever time it is, wherever you are, welcome. Today is a super interactive session. We're gonna just like babble a little bit while people pour in the masses pour in to our live stream. Kyle, why don't you tell the nice people where all we are live streaming from and to?
Fantastic. So we are physically, I'm in Denver, Colorado. Anne is in Portland near, what's your town?
I live in Corvallis, Oregon, which is where Oregon State is.
Oh, okay. Oh, very
Yeah.
cool. Very
Yeah.
nice. So we're in different parts of the country. I'm live on TikTok right now in the AI Learning Lab. I'm also live on AI Learning Lab YouTube and my personal LinkedIn account. So if you're on LinkedIn, hi everybody. And this is streaming for you to where?
This is streaming for me to my LinkedIn, and we kind of sort of think maybe my
Maybe.
YouTube.
Okay.
But that's an area for, FY or
Right.
calendar year 2025 review.
That's
And
that's very nice.
and here's where we all are. Here's where we're all meeting in the middle.
This is
If
what we're
people,
talking about.
this is what we're talking about.
Yep.
So today we are going to avail people of information about our AI Readiness certification, and we'll share a little bit about how we got here. How did we get to this point where today we are launching this opportunity for everyone who has asked us for it, which is a whole lot of people. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened at AI Festivus, the response to AI Festivus, and then what the credentialing program will look like as of our current thinking, which is, I don't know, 85% there, 90. We've
Yep.
got a few weeks where we're going to refine our thoughts and do some beta testing with beta users, and then we will drop this thing for everybody on February 1st. So
Yep. Exactly.
that's what we're up to. If that's what you're interested in, you have come to the right place. Again, today is an interactive session, so please do drop your questions in the chat. If you're on LinkedIn, you can just put them in there. It's like under where we're talking, and sometimes it's a little bit janky, but just keep trying. I will see all of the. Let me just make sure.
And it said, I just saw a LinkedIn user said the link was not working from Kyle's LinkedIn. I don't know what that means, if it means the link for this or the link that was in the announcement we put out. But
you can go to mine. Let me pull mine real quick. If that's not working for you.
well, they obviously got in, so they made that comment. So they got in somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, so you must be, yeah, they must be viewing. So we'll
Yep.
leave it at that. The other thing I felt like,
Lori
for
Blair
those,
said yours is fine. Your link was fine.
okay, perfect. The link is working now. I kind of figured. Okay, so why don't we take a second to introduce ourselves, just in case there are people who haven't yet met us. My name is Anne
What?
Murphy.
No,
Huh?
no one. People have not met us. I
I know.
thought I was a superstar.
We feel like we're just the darlings right now, but it's in part mine didn't work. Okay, LinkedIn user, why don't you wait a second? Yeah. Didn't work from email. I don't know what to tell you. LinkedIn is weird.
All right. It took me far too long to figure this out. Well, Daisy figured it out. All right. Well, let's do that. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah,
I'll
let's let the
introduce myself.
people also.
We'll let
This
people
is
meander in.
Perfect. So this is perfect training for the AI wilderness, because nothing works on the first click. And
nothing works on the 12th click.
On the 12th click. There's this one woman I follow on TikTok, and her name is Infinite something. And she purposely makes it difficult to find her stuff on the internet, find her courses, because she doesn't want people in there who can't dig around and find stuff.
You want to know what's funny?
But
When I first moved to New York, there was an acting teacher named Bill Esper, and he invited me to take his acting class. And when I went to, sign up for his class, the receptionist dude was just really nasty. And he was like, just wait over there. Just nasty, dismissive. And so I waited for like 45 minutes and I'm like, what's up? Am I going to meet with Bill? And he's like, no, he's busy. Just come back tomorrow, and sent me away. He did that 3 days in a row. And I found out that was all by design, that Bill didn't want anyone in his acting class that didn't have the moxie to get past his nasty assistant, because it's a tough business. So I totally get it. But anyway, so Anne, introduce yourself, please.
okay, yeah. So my name is Ann Murphy, and I live in Corvallis, Oregon, which is where Oregon State is. And a couple of years ago, after 25 years in my industry, I launched a consultancy. My subject matter expertise is in nonprofit and higher ed fundraising. And when I added AI into that, my subject matter expertise, I got like my superpowers, where I was able to really focus on working out of my zone of genius. Like, I launched this company because I want to make an impact in the world, and making an impact in the world isn't going to happen when a visionary type person, type leader is, scouring through where the comma is, where the comma is supposed to be, why the spreadsheet column is off. Like, that's not going to work. So I started using AI, got completely hooked on it, joined a bunch of communities to kind of test them out, and I got really involved with the AI Exchange, which is Rachel Woods, and then I got really involved with the AI Salon, which is Kyle and his crew, his vast crew, his co-founder Leah Faston, the whole group of champions who are called the Irregulars. Long story, needs context. And then in the beginning of 2024, I launched She Leads AI, which at the time was just, highlighting, baller women in the AI space. And then that got a lot of enthusiasm. And then we started doing events, and we started doing knowledge swaps. And then the election happened, which was a call to action for so many of us. Then we had a really big event. And then 3,200 people signed up for Festivus, and 1,700 of them joined our She Leads AI mailing list. And that's what brings me to today.
That's what brings us here. Just quickly before I introduce myself, it looks like there are people on LinkedIn in what's called the theater, which maybe is a backstage waiting area for this thing. Do you know if there's
There's
any?
no theater in LinkedIn.
No. In Restream, is there a theater? Is there
No,
some sort of holding room in Restream that you know of?
no, no, definitely not. There's just LinkedIn Live. It's on. I don't know what's happening because I've been doing these for 24 months. So really, it's just showing on my like, let me see if there's something wrong with it while you introduce
All right, yeah.
yourself.
Emilio says several people are waiting. Okay, cool. Hello.
Typically, bless, I gotta say something, typically bless all of your hearts. Absolutely adore you. However, AI Salon folks don't spend as much time on LinkedIn, and it's typically you guys who have a hard time getting on. So bear with us. We're gonna figure this out. I
Okay,
will I will figure out what's going on.
great. So I'm Kyle Shannon. I am a storyteller by training. I have a fine arts degree in acting. I've written a bunch of screenplays. I moved to New York City out of school to pursue a life in the arts. I'm based in Denver, Colorado right now. In the mid 90s, I stumbled upon this thing called the World Wide Web and just became absolutely enamored with it and what the possibilities were. And I started one of the first online magazines and one of the first digital agencies, a company called agency.com in the mid 90s. So I've been in a movie before that looks very similar to what we're going through right now with AI. My current gig is I'm the co-founder and CEO of Storyvine, which is an automated video storytelling platform. We've been around for 13 years come this May. So I've been doing that for a while. And then, yeah, when ChatGPT came out, I recognized that, holy crap, here's another big technological shift that's about to happen. And the one thing that I learned back in the World Wide Web days is community is everything. And if you're connected and in the conversation, in the early stages of a technology takeoff, there's massive opportunity there. And so I started the AI Salon, I started the TikTok channel, and we're off to the races. So, and that brings us here.
That
So
brings
let
us
me,
here.
are you good? You want me to just give a little bit of background on how we got to Festivus?
Yeah, because I'm going to try to keep.
You're gonna keep motoring? Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Okay, so the AI Salon was our first meeting was December 7th, 2022. So that was the day, the week after ChatGPT launched. The following year, Anne had become part of the AI Salon, and we got to the holiday break, and and me having ADHD, I had an idea that they had just launched custom GPTs, and everyone was excited about GPTs. And I knew Anne was teaching people how to build GPTs in her community, and we were doing lots of that in the AI Salon. And so I reached out to Anne and I said, I have this wacky idea. What if we did a 24-hour GPT-a-thon for nonprofits? Because, she does nonprofit fundraising, and she's zany. And I thought she might just say yes. And so she didn't hesitate. You didn't hesitate. You were like, yep, let's do it. I'm in. And so last year on the weekend in between Christmas and New Year's, people are getting in now. So whatever you're doing, it looks like it's working. So that's good. So we did this thing called GPT for Good, and we invited people from our communities, and I don't know how many showed up, 100, 150, something like that over the 24 hours. And these communities came together and built 150, more than 150 GPTs for nonprofits. We had some people like Suzanne Welker Jurgens and Kelly Camp and Daisy Thomas that stayed for the whole 24 hours. And, they intended to come in and build one GPT, and they ended up building, 20 of them. It was absolutely a remarkable event. So that was last year. And then this year, about a month before the holidays, Anne reached out to me and said, hey, are we going to do a thing? And I'm like, yeah, we should do a thing. And then we kicked around some ideas. And one of the things that we struck on was we've got these communities with remarkably talented people in them. And is there some way that we could provide a stage for people to get out there, right? To put their talents out there and what they're working on out there? Because what we've learned in our communities is that experiencing what someone else is doing with AI is one of the best ways to learn it, right? Learning it yourself is good and required and all that sort of stuff, but being in a community of people that are doing things that you don't do is a great way to learn it. And so that was the idea. And then 2 weeks went by and I had done nothing on this. So we had like 2 weeks to go before that weekend. And Anne reached back out to me and said, hey, Kyle, have you done anything on this AI Festivus thing? And I was like, came up with a name. I came up with a name for it. And so she took off. She put a team of volunteers together, and within 4 or 5 days, it had already taken shape. And we were texting furiously back and forth about, we've got X number of speakers, and everyone I'm asking is saying yes. And then she said, have you called your people? And I'm like, no. But then I did. And everyone I reached out to said yes, with the exception of 2 people that just logistically couldn't do it because of holiday travel. And so we had 34 people say yes. We've essentially, everyone we asked out of our communities was like, I'm in. Where do you need me? When do you need me? And we're like, well, it's a holiday weekend. And they're like, oh, that's more complicated. They gave us hours. And then Anne took all of those names and all of those schedules and put together the itinerary. So the event, if you missed it, AI Festivus was December 27th and 28th. They started at 9 in the morning Pacific time and essentially went till 9 o'clock at night, both Friday and Saturday, the 27th and 28th. And that was the plan. And we had 34 speakers and 23 or 24 sessions. So we had some panels in there. And that was that. Now, what happened was along the way, tell me when you want to jump back in, Anne, because I'm just sort of riffing while you're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm just responding to about 50 messages about links. So for everyone
You're
out
not missing
there,
anything. Yeah,
we
we know. We're
know
here.
you're not missing. Yeah, Kyle, go on. You've got the links posted in here multiple times. Just use those if you're having a hard
Yep.
time getting in.
Beautiful.
So,
Okay.
yes.
Awesome. So, um, so we started putting the word out, and a couple of things started happening. We were starting to get more response than we were planning. We were hoping maybe for, I don't know what, 300 or 400 people to sign up. And at some point we had 100 people signed up, and Anne reached out and was like, is anyone going to come to our party? It would be nice if we had 300. I'm like, I know. And then it went up a little bit. And then all of a sudden we were at like 405. And then we were at like 700. Like the numbers just went crazy. And it turns out a lovely woman named Sabrina Romanoff made a video about the event on her TikTok channel, which is, she's got a whole community. And so that just kind of lit registrations on fire. So we ended up registering more than 3,200 people for this event. And it was absolutely insane. And I'm trying to think, about 3 days before the event, we were probably north of 2,000 people registered. And so we got together and we said, listen, normally what we would do is we would do like a Zoom call where everybody logs in and we all get to talk to each other. And like with 2,000 people, that ain't going to work. Like, Zoom don't do that. And nothing does that, right? So, and it's just not logistically possible. So we ended up switching our Zoom subscription to what's called a webinar format, and we had to go to a max of 3,000 people, which was really pricey. So we had sponsors that all stepped up and helped underwrite all of that, and so the event took off, and it was absolutely amazing. So let's see. Tell me more about AI Festivus. What was it? Why should I have FOMO? So what it was this 2 days of really anyone could speak about anything they wanted to speak about. We hand selected them. They were like the superstars of our communities, right? They're the people that we want these people to talk. And so should you have FOMO? Yes, you should absolutely have FOMO. But the good news is the recordings are available. And what we're talking about today, the certification, is a certification to take all the wisdom that was provided during Festivus and turn that into a structured learning system. And that we're developing right now. So that I'm really excited about. But I guess what I'll do is this. I will share my big takeaways, Anne, and then I'll kick it over to you. And I'd love to hear your big takeaways. Or tell me if your head's in the game. The
Yeah, it is in the game. Let me. I'm going to answer questions as we
Okay.
go. Not about links. The links are in. The links are posted. So Diane asked, or somebody asked, somebody asked about what the certification and what is it? I'm going to dive in with, yes, it is a certification on AI. Somebody said not really. So it is a certification on AI. AI
Yeah,
readiness.
it's not about
So
AI
that
tools, right? So one of the
right.
things that we talked about initially was doing an AI literacy certification. And Anne reached out to me, and I thought I'm so glad you did, because I hadn't even gone here, but she said literacy, something doesn't feel right about it. And we kicked it back and forth. Where we both landed was literacy was starting to feel like literacy is about learning the tools, right? Learning prompt engineering and learning tactical stuff and getting good at ChatGPT and getting good at APIs and right, getting literate. It felt very tool centric, and so we kicked some ideas around. And where we landed was what AI Festivus was really about was people talking about how they're doing what they do in life, and then how they use AI in the context of that. So what it was basically was 24 sessions of people talking about how they're getting AI ready, right? And so when we had so many requests for, can this become a certification, focusing on, well, what do we want to certify is actually really important. And so AI readiness is what we landed on. And so the certification is about AI readiness. And that I'm super excited about.
Great. So I feel, Kyle, like based on the questions in the chat, we should not go through AI Festivus except for as we're answering
Great.
the questions. So let me dive in with a couple of more details. First of all, everybody, let us take just a little step back. I totally understand that you want to know the nitty-gritty. Keep in mind, we are still 30 days out from launching this, but we are only 4 days out from Festivus. So this is all happening really, really quickly. And that if you are having FOMO, definitely go over to the AI Salon, and you can get resources there. You can watch the videos there, and I'm sure somebody would drop that link in the chat if you don't already know what that is.
If you go to the
So
salon.ai, that's going to take you to a website. You have to click on join our community on that website, and that will take you to the community site where the resources are.
okay. Yeah, and I was wondering if Vicky, you could drop links, or Donnie drop links that people are asking for and that they need in order to access some of these resources. Oh, thank you, Silver Fox. Appreciate you very much. So, a couple of things about how. Okay, so Kyle already talked about the difference between AI literacy and AI readiness, and here's my take on it. My take is that AI literacy was like 2023, 2024. Now that is absolutely table stakes. And this is not like fear mongering to say you can't jump on board, because you absolutely, like, now's a perfect time to jump on board. Like right now, before like the next wave of things happen. Like we had a big wave in December, right? There's always a lot going on, but like right now, this pause before agents become a big deal, which we don't need to worry about that today.
Before the
But
acceleration starts accelerating. Now's a good time.
yes, so this is the perfect so this is the perfect moment to dive in, just like totally dive in. So you're going to get the AI literacy, right? Like through osmosis and through your intuition that you're going to build, and you're going to get AI readiness. And what AI readiness means to me is that you are like tool agnostic. You could drop in and understand, like, this is for making images, this is for making movies, this is for making really good written content. Like you'll know how to use it, because you'll know like how to use those tools well enough that when you sit down as an AI ready person and go, okay, I have a project I need to work on, like you look at your to-do list and you go, okay, how can I use AI so that I can work in my zone of genius, so that I don't do stuff for this project that's unnecessary? And Kyle and I talk a lot about, unlearning, using our brain first.
Don't
so
stop relying on this, because this is the bottleneck.
Yes,
This is
exactly.
the bottleneck. It's way better
Exactly.
than this is.
This is the bottleneck. This
Yeah.
is the bottleneck. And not to say that anything is bad about our operating systems up here. It's just that there's so much of what, if we think about what we've been doing for decades, like what got most of us here, because I'm scanning, I'm thinking mostly everybody is Gen X, most people, maybe elder millennial, in the chat, if I'm picking up what you guys are laying down. That we're used to, first of all, we're used to doing things the hard way. We're used to doing things through brute force. And now we're tired. And we're also at the same time ready to do more, right? So we're tireder and we're more motivated. And we have this moment in time. So now being AI ready means you sit down at your desk, or you wander around outside while you're walking and you talk to your AI, and you think first, like, okay, what have I historically not enjoyed about a project like this? And what historically am I trying to outsource to other people?
Or what
right?
am I not
Like,
good at?
where's the intern? Where's the admin? Boomers represent. Okay, Vicky. Okay, I see you. Gen X and ready, Lori. Yeah, Rebecca, so true. So think about, like, what are you yearning for an intern to do? What are you going to Upwork to ask somebody to do? What are you hoping that, like, your work bestie or your work husband will do for you? And tackle those things at first, get some quick wins, get
Yep.
some dopamine. Then go, okay, how can I get AI to help me frame this project up? Simple, like, hey, AI, what do I need to know in order to do this project? Or, hey, ask me a few questions. I need to write a creative brief for this big event. Ask me a few questions about it so we can get started on a successful project. That's what I mean by AI readiness. And then the other
Sorry, go
thing,
ahead.
yeah,
Okay,
go for
I
it.
want to share one thing. One of our speakers is a guy named Jim Ross, and if you don't know Jim Ross, you should connect with him in the AI Salon. Really great guy. He I would consider what Jim does is kind of AI readiness 2.0. If you want to if you want to kind of something to aspire to. Jim gets up every morning and he sets a timer for 60 minutes. And in those 60 minutes, he uses AI for his business. He doesn't have an agenda. Like he says the first 30 minutes, he might have things he knows he needs to do, make some emails, do some things, make some marketing copy, whatever it might be. But that gets done very quickly. And then he's still got 30 minutes where he just plays. And one of the things that Jim's really good at, there's one thing of AI readiness is thinking about, okay, I have a problem to solve. How can I use AI to do that? Where Jim then takes it is, how can I use AI to do something I never would have even thought of before? And the story that he shared during AI Festivus was one night on a TikTok live, he learned how to make songs in Suno, and he had just met with a client the hour before. So he said, why don't I write him a song and see if if they like that? And so he wrote a song in Suno and sent it to this prospective client. And 5 minutes later, he got an email saying, "You're hired. Let's do this." So AI readiness is also about just having that sense of adventure that you can do things radically different than you might have otherwise concerned. Yes, we are streaming this on LinkedIn as well as YouTube. All right. And other
Yes.
questions?
So, question is going to be how, first of all, congratulations, LinkedIn user. Like, that is so fire. And I would love to, if you could drop another comment
Oh.
about what portion of your job search was most accelerated, enabled, etc., by AI. And
Oh, she starts on
kudos to
Monday.
teach
That's so
your,
cool. She or he. They start on Monday.
yeah,
That's awesome.
congratulations. Yay. Everybody in the chat, give her high fives, because that is bomb, or give them high fives, because this is an awesome triumph.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And
Um,
dragging the husband
so
along and teaching the husband to use AI. Love it.
dragging the husband along, kicking and screaming if need be. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The first thing I did was send everybody in our organization to Rachel Wood's, training, and just to get us all, like, whenever you're working with somebody and you're teaching someone, I think the biggest benefit is to have a shared vocabulary, right? Like, how do we talk about this? It's just like any new skill. Like, if I were trying to knit, I would need to know like 15 new vocabulary words before I could even do one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Right? I'd be like, I know it's not even called yarn anymore, for example. I know it's called fibers or something, artistic fibers. I don't know. So in that way, it's like anything
You do
else.
live in
So
Oregon.
I do. Oh, so yeah. I won't show you my shoes.
That's awesome.
So, one of the things that I want, like when I was working on the landing page, which we're going to share with you guys, it's of course a work in progress because 4 days out from Festivus. But I was thinking about how this program, this certification program, compares with some of the other things out there. And first of all, no shade, absolutely no shade to my colleagues who have launched programs. And, Rachel Kimber and I have one that's super dope. She's in the chat right now. If you guys don't follow Rachel, please do. She's amazing. But here's what's different about ours. Number one, ours is not about tools, as we've mentioned. So this is not going to be dive in. We're going to show you 15 different tools. We're going to tell you that you need to have 15 tools. In fact, when tools come up, we're going to tell you, focus on a few, get really good at those, and then go out from there after you've played a whole bunch. So it's not about tools, because we know that the tools are going to come and go. So X
And
out
tools
tools.
are not only going to come and
And
go, tools like how you use ChatGPT today is going to be fundamentally different than how you use it 6 months from now. And it's fundamentally different than 6 months earlier. So even the same tool is going to change, right? So yeah, so that's a bit of a trap,
yes,
and it's a
it's a
trap,
trap.
right? It, and what's not a trap.
Yes.
So here's the
And
thing: while Festivus didn't talk about tools, there were probably, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 tools that were mentioned of here's things people are using. But all of those conversations were at the service of the thing they were trying to accomplish or the mindset that they had, right?
right, right. And I'll share, like, as a special bonus for this, is that Kyle and I have already spent, learned from thousands of hours of playing with tools. I don't know, for me, way less than you, but still, I'm going to guess like 500 or 600 hours learning new tools, right? Attempting to learn Hugging Face, for example, and like crying, attempting, like literally crying, attempting to learn automations, also crying. Um, so we've done that, and we are 100% sure at this point it's not about those. So that's what's really good. And you're going to develop the intuition to know, should I even, just because I can use AI, should I use AI? So again, that's a difference. Another difference is, and I think this is absolutely critical, and what is so awesome about our organizations partnering together is that, and for those of you who were at Festivus, you saw that we are real human beings. Every single one of those workshop presenters showed up as their whole human self. Every single one of them had the things that I think are critical. Number one, a curious mind. Number two, a willingness to be vulnerable. And number three, a community. So they were up there saying to you, first of all, is my PowerPoint working, right? Is my sound working, right? So like they're human. This is not a sanitized, we don't have a production crew. We have Brandon in the background and Donnie in the background, but we didn't rent a studio, right? It's good, it's high quality, but it's not so overproduced that we couldn't edit it if we needed to, if we couldn't, we can drop in and make changes as things evolve. So we're real, relatable humans. I have taken all these courses where I just feel like that person potentially may have never done anything with AI, but they're just really good at reading a
Mm.
teleprompter, right? That's harder for me to connect with. Or people who want to teach solely by theory. Like it's like as if it's an academic pursuit. It's like we're studying about AI, but we're not doing
Or
AI.
the other thing
So
that I
yeah,
see is, I remember when you used to sell software in shrink wrap boxes, you would get the manual would be the resource of all the things the tool could do, and a lot of the courses are here's all the things the tool can do. What really struck me, Anne, about Festivus, and I mean, you talked about it like as real people, they showed up as their real selves, but to a person, like there wasn't a person that led with the tool first. And a year ago, that just wasn't the case because the tools were so new. Everyone was
right.
just trying to figure out what do these things do. And now that we're kind of 2 years into whatever this industry, the post chat GPT industry is, what
Yeah.
everyone to a person talked about was what they're trying to accomplish in their life, what they're, maybe they've been laid off. Like I see a lot of comments in the chat that some people have been laid off and they've used AI to help them, or now they're going to dive headlong into AI. I think that's absolutely awesome because that's what the whole 2 days was about, was people showing up and just saying, here's where I am in my life, here's what I'm trying to accomplish, here's what I experimented with AI, here's what worked, here's what didn't. The tools, very secondary,
Yes.
right? Very secondary.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think is worth certifying. How do you get in that mindset? How do you get in a mindset? I mean, I talk about this nightly on my live am, but you just said it. How do you get in a mindset where when your first instinct, when you're presented with a problem, your first instinct is, okay, I've got to think about this, let me go to the whiteboard, and you have to actually tell yourself, no, I don't have to think about this, I don't have to go to the whiteboard, I can just go to ChatGPT and ask it and let it help me brainstorm. And it's a completely different way of working. That's AI readiness. And it is not an overnight thing. It is very much, as you kind of play and absorb what these tools can do and what they mean for you personally about what you want to express in the world or the work you want to do.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
you are first. All this other stuff is second. So that's
Yes.
what this certification is really about. And that's why I think
Yes.
I'm so excited about it.
I can tell. We can tell. Everybody can tell. We are like beside ourselves right now. Um, so that's another thing. Like, it's not. It's kind of an offshoot of we're whole humans, but like it's not boring. Like there's this one that I signed up for where it was like they were like promoting that it's like 57 modules, and
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot me now. There's no way. And we all know people don't finish their, on demand, their self-guided
Yeah. Mm.
courses because they like the interest level just fizzles, right? We come in hot, we're
Yeah.
super excited, and then over time we're like, I got other stuff to do, right? So it's gonna move right along, just like people told us, like with so many people who were there for every
For every
single
session.
session.
I know.
You
Like
guys.
we signed up for this. You guys didn't have to do that. We encouraged it, but we had a lot of people stay for the whole thing. I want to read what Michelle Muncie Silva just said. She goes, "I so miss that bro marketing mindset." Said no one ever. You can make money with ChatGPT.
Oh my God, Michelle. You know what? So when I launched my company, I had this amazing branding expert who told me, even though this feels yucky, you have to know who the villain is. You have to know who you are not, right? And the easy culprits for me were the tech bros, because I was like, I relate to them absolutely zero. I don't even want to be in the same like industry with them. How can I be exactly opposite? Oh, I know, showing up as my whole human self
Yeah.
and giving and giving and giving, just like Kyle. Like Kyle, not to, gas you up or anything like that, but Kyle is one of my mentors and I learned from him immediately. Give, 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 give. Because by the way, information, and that's like what the tech bros offer, right? Like information, we all need it, but it's also available everywhere because of AI.
Yep.
If you need information about AI, you can ask AI, right? What it's really about, and Kyle, I want you to talk about what it's really about are the things that make us different from other people in the AI era, which is you talk about like taste and
Mm.
authenticity. Can you talk about that part?
Yeah. So one of the speakers that we had at the AI Salon was a guy named PJ Lochran. I used to work with him back in
Mm.
agency.com. And he started an agency. He's an entrepreneur. He started lots of successful companies, and he started an agency, and he decided to switch it to all AI. And in switching it to all AI, he didn't need as many people, and he let go of his copywriter and gave copywriting duties to the account person. So if you know anything about agency life, like that generally doesn't happen, right? Account people are the relationship people and the strategy people, and copywriters, it's very tactical and it's very specialized. And the account person was very reticent at first. And I said, well, how's she liking it now? And he said, she absolutely loves it. And I said, can you tell me why you let go of the copywriter and not the account person? Or why you let go of the copywriter and not the account person? Like, what was the choice? And he had an instant answer. He said, oh, that's easy. He goes, the account person had taste. The account person, he knew that the skills could be handled by AI to some degree, but he knew that the account person wouldn't let crap go out the door, right? She
Mhm.
had she had a point of view. She had a creative point of view. Like he valued her humanity, right? It
Mm.
wasn't about the tactical skills. And this is the shift that I think we're all in the middle of, is that in current society, we value specialization and we value skills and we value education. Not that education is not important, but what we pay more for are specialists that can do tactical execution. What we pay less for are generalists because they're generalists and maybe they can't dive as deep on something. That iceberg is about to flip upside down, where the AI is going to get good, better and better and better at tactical execution. And what we're going to need are people. I just wrote an article on LinkedIn. Do you know who your Rick Rubins are? We're going to need people like Rick Rubin, who might not be able to write songs, might not be able to sing, might not even be able to work the mixing console, but he creates Grammy Award winning songs. And how does he do that? He knows what he likes and what he doesn't, and he's willing to say, I like this and I don't like that. And that's kind of the role that we all get to step into. We get to become the creative director, we get to become the producer, we get to become the conductor of the orchestra. And that's just a very different mindset from our current work environment. And so being AI ready, I think, is understanding that flip. And what does that mean for you personally, right? Maybe you are someone who can dive deep on something, but can you now start to expand out and understand the bigger picture? That's going to be super valuable. So is that what you wanted me to hit on?
Yes, exactly. So like, and the other component of like demonstrating through this credential that you are part of other people's gatherings and community and being able to work together, and like you've got that's almost a credential unto itself,
Can I
right?
share something about that?
Yes, please.
The One of the things that we recognized very early in the AI salon, I think you and I have talked a lot about this, Anne, is when people initially joined the AI salon, there was a lot of apologizing. There
So
was a lot
much.
of right? There was a lot of
Yes.
people that are like, well, I just know this little thing over there. And they kind of apologized for the thing they knew because they
Yes.
didn't know all the AI stuff, right? And so they would come in and they apologized. And we actually went through about a 6-month period where we were just like, no apologies, stop apologizing, because people thought that the little thing that they knew wasn't valuable because to them it was obvious. And what we learned in the salon was that every time someone shared their little obvious nugget that they often apologized for, 3 or 4 other people in the conversation would be like, oh my God, that's revelatory. I never would have thought of it like that. The power
Exactly.
of community is that you've got so many people looking at AI through different lenses. That's how you get your education, because you never would have looked at it like someone who's a landscaper looked at it, because you're not that, right? And
Right.
they will teach you something that you will then be able to apply to what you want to do, that's just, earth shattering. So
People are wanting to know. Okay, so here's a couple of little factoids about it. Here's how it's going to work. Okay, and keep in mind again, we're 4 days out, 5 days out from Festivus, and the first day was just sleeping.
yeah.
So we are still noodling on this, and we've got backup support from people who know how to like get things across the finish line. Vicky Baptiste is on board with this project, helping make sure that everything is organized properly and is going to be a good user experience for everybody so that you can all be successful. Here's the game plan. We're going to carefully curate the workshops into a couple of different big topics. For
Tracks.
example, oh, go ahead.
No, just tracks.
Tracks, right? So think of it as a track. Like when you go to a conference and it's like, I want to be in this track, but it's not going to be beginner, advanced, whatever, because there is none of that,
Yeah.
right? Everybody is in this adventure together. We're all learning how to learn. That's what matters, not where you are. It's where you came in and where you're going to go. So there are going to be tracks. For example, AI in business, AI in creativity, other uses of AI general.
AI general, and AI general looks like security and policy and some of the more like how do large language models work, things like that. So we're going to have those 3 different tracks is the initial thing, is the initial plan based on the
Based
speakers
on
that
you
we have
all,
there. Yep,
based on the
exactly.
workshops, yeah. And then we'll have quizzes and like some quiet time project for you in between something. And then we'll have, we're playing with the level of interaction that we'll provide for the people who purchase this, like particularly in the beginning, we're going to think about, we're figuring that out. That's a little bit of a TBD. We got to figure that out. But then yeah, and you'll progress through it. So like a lot of the learning management systems, it'll be like, you take 1 or 2 workshops, then you take a quiz, you got to pass it to go to the next one. It'll depend on which learning management system. We're all study buddies, Reginald. Exactly. It
Yeah,
will
Sages of Motherhood said, "We are so early, it's schoolhouse learning." I love that.
it's schoolhouse
It's
learning.
totally
We're all
schoolhouse
in the
learning.
one room
Yeah,
schoolhouse. It's just a very,
it's a
you
big
know,
schoolhouse.
it's a
Exactly.
big schoolhouse, and pretty soon we're going to need a bigger one. And that's the
Yeah,
point of this.
exactly.
Right.
That's
We really
awesome.
want to graduate a whole big cohort of people who are able to go out here and say, not only do I know what I'm talking about, I also am affiliated with other human beings, and I have this certification to prove it, right? And what we're kind of certifying is the following thing, the previous things, and it comes from the place of, we're not like the all-knowing, omniscient AI, like judges of people and what they're good at and what they're not. But we have been around for a while now. I've taught 4,000 people how to use AI, and I've seen what works and what doesn't. We've tried a whole bunch of different approaches. Kyle has, I don't know, millions of hours on LinkedIn, on TikTok.
Close to, close
Community,
to 1,000. It's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot.
Um,
And running communities, seeing what works, seeing people's setbacks. And so we have this like bird's eye perspective and are certifying from the place of trusted communities, right? We've got a few thousand people in our joint communities who are, successful and thriving and happy to be engaged. And this will be another way for you to engage more deeply with them.
yeah, there's a question from Walid El Kadi, I think you pronounce it. Is there going to be ongoing support after completing the certification, such as forums, mentorship, continuous learning opportunities? I don't know. Right now, the next thing is let's get the certification in place. What I can tell you is this: the She Leads AI community and the AI Salon community have a lot of that stuff in it already.
Yes.
Get involved in the communities. There are
Yes.
remarkably generous people in both of these communities. What's incredible about these communities is when new people come in, they aren't judged. They're welcomed, right? You know how some communities they get to a certain level and then they're like, well, if you're not at this level, then you're not in this community. That's not who these are. So what ends up happening is people come into the community, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And they get welcomed in. And if you participate, if you show up and you say, hey, I'm just learning how to do this and I tried this and it didn't work, does anybody have a tip? Someone will give you a tip. And in doing that, you're providing other people opportunities for leadership and teaching. You're
Yes.
learning and you're
Yes.
building the community. So a lot of what you're asking for already exists. It's not formal, right? But for right now, our next priority is to get the certification right so that it's
Yes.
valuable and useful and it's something you can put on your LinkedIn and feel proud of, right? That this is something that has got the that really represents these two communities well and really represents what we as of right now know is the most important thing to learn, right? That's what this is about. So that's our priority right now, but great question.
That's our priority. And a piece of that is that we will maintain the value of your certification. That's what's useful, particularly useful about having a certification from communities rather than just like one human being thought leader,
Yep.
is that through all of you being the rising tide that lifts all boats, every person that goes through this certification and puts their badge out there for everyone to see raises the value of the certification, right? You're all out there
Yep.
as representatives of this, of this program, and the value as a result just keeps rising and rising and rising. The credibility is there. That's another thing that I wanted to mention as a differentiation. So we'll have the modules. We'll have the modules grouped into tracks. There will be quizzes, a little bit of self work. Our priority is to get it launched. Like that is task number 1, 2, and 3. We
And
are,
the target there is February 1st.
yeah, February 1st. And 2 things I will add on that. One is, the community component. It may be completely met. Those needs may be met by our existing communities. We will evaluate that. I actually have a really smart person coming in to do an audit of my community to figure out like what's the very best way to support everyone.
Yeah.
So we're like taking the deepest of dives to make sure that what we're offering is what you all need. Why don't I talk about how everybody can get signed up
Great.
without paying any money? Okay. Um, why don't you chat for a sec while I get the landing page
All right,
up.
let me go look at some. Shane Saw said something that was when I said the communities aren't judgmental when you're new. Shane Saw said, "I'm super judgy. I just don't act on it." I love that. I'm totally judgy there. I'm right there with you. I'm totally a judger, but we're not judging like you're not as good as, right?
Yeah.
This is a community that you can come in at any level and just say, here's the level I'm at, and find your people. That's one of the things that we heard over and over and over during Festivus was comments that were essentially, I've found my people. Here's the deal. We are so early in AI. As much as it's been hyped up and everyone talks about the hype cycle, we are so early. Just a few months ago, 47% of Americans hadn't even heard of Chat GPT. So if you're one of those people who you're like, I think this AI thing's important and I think I should learn it, but everyone I talk to about it is not into it, or they judge me, or they tell me they don't want me talking about it, that's what these communities are for. These communities are those weirdos like you. We are your weirdos, and that's what we heard throughout Festivus was, these are my people. Finally, 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 I
Finally.
found people that I can share this with. And so the readiness thing is really a way to say, okay, I'm ready for this, whatever this thing might be.
Okay, everybody. So here is the landing page, which just like everything we do is a work in progress. Um, I I whipped this together at 5 o'clock this morning, so trust that there will be more. Like it will get better, and you'll have lots of juicy details. But here's where we are right now. The most important thing is, and Kate's going to drop the website address into the chat. Oh, there's multiple chats going on. Okay,
Source
well,
camp just indoctrinated her
if you
neighbor.
put it in LinkedIn, then I will pin it and it'll at least be here and then other people can see it. So all you need to do to stay up to speed and be the first people to know and to get a couple of different goodies is to add your this is on preview, so it has mine in here, but you add your first and last name and your email address, hit submit. You're going to get a couple of things from us. One is you're going to get Kyle's checklist of AI readiness essentials. So you'll get that in your inbox immediately. So you get a little goodie as our way of saying thank you for letting us know that you're interested, because it's really helpful for us to have a sense of how many people even want this thing, right? As we decide how much money to spend on marketing and stuff like that. So what we're saying here is you're going to get insider updates, right? Like Kyle and I will, of course, have some, goofy pratfalls to share with you guys along the way. You'll be the first to know when we launch like our beta group and our when February 1st comes around, if it's ready earlier, you will be the first to know, so you can dive in. And then, like I said, you'll get these goodies. And then, yes, there's a link. It's you guys.
It's coming. It's coming. It's
Literally
coming.
just said Kate is dropping it in the chat. That's okay. It's okay. You don't have to listen. Okay.
Are you
Um
ready for AI.com? Is it? It's the link is in the chat, but we'll get there.
yes. Are you ready festivus4ai.com. Tell me, Kyle, if this is accurate. Because also, by the way, we came up with this while Kyle was driving yesterday, and I feel like maybe I was cleaning the house, and we were just like, yeah, that sounds good. And
That's
then
good. Book it.
yeah, and then we went, and then I went on, whatever, and I was like, well, that one's not working. That one's $22,000. That one's $79,000. Let's go with the one that's $11. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
exactly.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Lori already signed up.
there you
Yes.
go. Beautiful. Yeah.
I
So
don't even know if we have well, go ahead.
one of the questions that I just saw going is there going to be a beta? So one of the advantages of signing up now, we are going to select some people before February 1st to help us test this out. So we still have yet to determine which LMS we're using, exactly, the nature of the activities and things like that. That's the thing we'll be working on over the next couple of weeks. So once we have something to play with, we will be reaching out to some people to do some testing. So sign up for sure to just let us know that you're interested. And then, as this thing materializes, you'll get more information and you'll have it there sooner than others. And yeah, there's a possibility that we may ask you to do some testing for sure.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So, and then, like I said, you'll get other little BTS things. We're obviously hilarious, and we will share with you all of the, oh my gosh, you guys, we've got people signing up already. Oh my
Don't
goodness
break our
gracious.
sign up form.
Yeah, I don't even know if we have our automation set up. We're doing our best, you guys. Okay. Oh my God. See, I just love you guys.
You
Like,
guys are amazing.
you're so, like, I'm a words of affirmation girly. So when I see the words "I signed up," to me, that means you love me. And it
Yeah.
means a lot. So
That's so
Lori
sweet.
said, if you need help testing. Yeah, okay, you guys. So other things are, what are some of the other things that people probably came here to know? Oh, one of the big questions I got is, will they will the content be available forever? When you buy this, it is yours. Like, you have access to these things. It's yours to play with. You can use it for as long as you want. We will, like, if this goes well, we will probably update it after our proposed Festivus next year. You know, it's this is a little bit of a trial, just like everything we do in AI, right? We're going to see how this goes, but you're going to want new content after, X number of months/years, but it will be yours to use for as long as you
Yeah.
need to.
And the current the recordings from Festivus are available on the Salon now, and they'll be in that Festivus space, indefinitely. Those things organized and turned into this certification, that will be available if you sign up for the certification. So
Exactly. Um, what about where will people put these badges? What are the various use cases for using the badge or their certification, Kyle?
that's an excellent question, Anne. I'm so glad I have all of the answers right now. And I definitely have thought about this in depth. And definitely, I am not making anything up right now. Definitely not. I am an expert in the situation of badge management. I have no idea. But I think, listen, here's to take it down a serious notch. One of the things that we talked about from day one of the salon is that we want your participation in the salon to mean something. And fairly early on, people that were saying they were part of the AI salon were getting jobs and they were getting noticed and they were, being asked to be part of AI committees in their community. So that started happening early on. We want this certification to mean something. And I think you said it before, Anne, that if you've got ideas for how we should use these certifications, let us know. We'll build those components in. Maybe we want a little graphic. Maybe, yes, badges. They're good badges. Part of this is exactly what you said, Anne, that if you post this and this is, vetted by these two communities, that gives you some shine but you posting it also gives the community some shine, right? This is a virtuous circle. So I don't have any tactical answers right now about badges and badge management, but share any ideas you have with us. In fact,
Yes.
one of the things that we might want to do, and since we're in this early stage, is on our sign up form. Maybe just put a thing, if you have any ideas about the certification or badges or something
Yeah.
like that. If people have ideas, maybe we throw that in the sign up form in a day or two. I know
Yeah.
we're making it up as we go.
Yes, absolutely. And also, I wanted to say that a couple of places where I would put the badge, if it were me, or the certification, I'm just gonna list. So this is now, going forward, part of your personal and professional brand. So you're going to use it in all the places where you can highlight your expertise. So, for example, if you're a LinkedIn user, which I highly recommend you are, um, if you're a LinkedIn user, in the very top, after under your name, you can list, like 3 or 4 things. What you would want to put, because every time you leave a comment on LinkedIn, the people see the first 4 or 5 words.
Oh yeah.
So you could put AI readiness certified, right? Or I help people because I'm AI readiness certified. People want to know what the heck to do with you. So
That's great.
that's an example. So you could use it there. You can use it on all of your social media. You can use it on your resume. You can use it when you are talking to people, when you give talks, because you'll be highly qualified to give talks. You put it on your slides. You put it everywhere you can, because this is one of the things that's going to differentiate you. And eventually somebody's going to say, where is this certification from? And
Yep.
then you're going to get to tell them, right? Good news. It's a legit certification. It's based on, a few thousand people, the learnings that Kyle and Ann have had and our communities have had, over the past, since November 22nd, 2022.
Yep.
So I would be like super loud and proud about it, but I'm also very, very like that, because I think that it's important in this day and age that we not be shy about our qualifications. There are
Oh,
going to be a lot of people rolling in saying they're all that and a bag of chips when it comes to AI stuff. And that's going to be pretty flimsy.
yep. The what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought.
I'll
One
just say
one
to
of the
Kat,
things
thank you.
one of the things we're going to do within the AI Salon is um, we've talked about badges for for a while now, but this will become a badge within the AI Salon. So as a member in the AI Salon, if you do the certification, that'll show up as a badge there. I
Ooh,
forget what I was going to
yes.
say. It'll come back to me. I love Eric
I
Wilkerson. I had to pull off the road so I could sign up. I'm glad you
Oh
pulled
my
off the road,
goodness.
but that's
Oh,
amazing. Thank you.
you guys. You guys. Okay. Let's see. So we will be talking about this a lot on social media for the next 6 weeks. Our goal is to, just like, how Kyle and I are, we love a sprint. We
Yeah.
don't do great with slow burns. So,
So it's going to happen fast. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, the AI Festivus 2024, from the day we started it till the day we launched it, was 15 days. So if you participated in it and you know what it was, that happened in 15 days from nothing. No website, no logo, no name, no, just an idea and a dream, right?
so we can make this happen. We are super motivated to do it. Um, Sign up on the interest list. That is incredibly helpful to us, and hopefully for you as well, because you'll get lots of little nuggets, and you'll be the first to know about stuff. Also, follow me, follow Kyle, and yes, and follow Michelle and anyone else who drops their LinkedIn. Especially follow Michelle. She has a brand new podcast called Empowered by AI, which is amazing, amazing, amazing. And you should go over and you should listen and you should rate it and you should leave a review, because that's how it gets out.
It's essentially an AI readiness podcast. So
It's
perfect.
essentially an AI readiness podcast. You're going to learn, you're going to find your people there too. And then you're going to go and you're going to follow them. And soon your social media feeds won't suck. They will be people who you actually want to hear from. What else? Is there any concluding thoughts? Because I know people
Oh yeah, we're at
are,
12:05. We're over
yeah,
our hour. So yeah, so we should probably wind things up. I don't think so. So here's the final thing that I'll say is thank you to all of you, because the whole idea, Ann and I were not excited to do a certification program. Like, this came out of participants of Festivus going, this is so good. We want to be able to take this up a notch and say we did this in some way. So thank you to all of you for that idea, and just for your participation and your enthusiasm here. It's inspiring, and it's lots of feel goods. So
lots of
thank you.
feel goods. Before we sign off, the one more thing I want to do is I'm going to put the website. I know that like, because of the way that the various streaming works, Kate, I think, made me
Oh, made
an,
you a little graphic.
a graphic of
Oh, good.
the website address so I can put it up on the screen as
Yeah,
we head
please do that.
out.
Get ready to screenshot this.
Yeah, unfortunately, my everything is okay. There we go. I think. Oh, there we go.
This is planned spontaneity. This we had this graphic days
Thank
ago, but
you,
we want it to seem like it's
Kate. This is perfect.
spontaneous.
So make it. What's that? Everything is
I said
spontaneous. Yeah, we're
this this was all planned days ago. We're just acting to try to make it look spontaneous.
so, yeah, right, exactly. So other people do that. We literally are spontaneous because there's no other way to do it. Don't pretend you're trying to be spontaneous. This is spontaneous, people. Okay, but also I want to say that
There we
part
go.
of what we're doing. Go ahead and screenshot this, everybody, because you
Screen
can.
out away.
Someone, what's the link? Here's the link, Ross. Express our interest. And yes, this is the link. Are you ready for AI.com? And
It's the Gen X way. It is. It is. Screw it. We'll put it together. Like we'll figure it out. This is we'll figure it out situation.
we'll
Um,
figure it out. I
I
mean, I
mean,
hope you
here's
guys
the
all trust us.
yeah. Here's the good news. This is not us figuring out what the content needs to be. The content is the remarkable event that happened, and it's us organizing that in a way that it can add some additional value. Right. That's what it is. And the other thing, one of the other things that I would like to thank everyone for is our sponsors have reached out to us and said they have seen an increase in traffic to their website and signups to their stuff, um, as a direct result of this. So I want this certification to do the same thing if there are sponsors for it, for them and for the speakers. So one of the things we're going to do, if you're a speaker who participated, is get all of your stuff, right? Do you have a book that you're selling? Do you have websites, things like that? Yeah, thanks for supporting our sponsors. So yeah, thank you for that. And with
Yeah,
that, I think that's it.
that's
Screenshot
it.
that,
That's it.
share it widely. February 1st is our target date. We are doing everything we can. We may reach out if we need some help testing. And that's all I got. I think that's it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, everybody. This is so thoughtful and sweet. Tell a friend. Oh, yeah. That was the other thing I was going to say. Tell a friend. And if you would be so kind, and this is a big ask because I know that everybody has a lot going on their social media, but Kyle and I and everybody, we're all going to be posting a lot of stuff about this, but the way the algorithm works is it's not going to go as far as if you all comment and post and repost and stuff. So you all are our core group. You're our champions.
Yep.
And if you see stuff, and no, it'll be several days. You're so welcome. Yeah, we can use your help with marketing this and getting it out to as many people as possible. Not because of our vanity or our egos, which are not non-existent.
I was going to say, mine's pretty healthy.
Mine's pretty healthy too and easily bruised. um, I'm just being honest. Yeah, it helps us to get this into the hands of people who need it. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Yep.
On that note, everybody, have a beautiful rest of your day. And stay in touch. Keep an eye on your email if you've already signed up. If you haven't already signed up, please do and send it to a friend.
Beautiful.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Ann.
everyone. All right.